Hey, Shalom, brother Enos. Yabashim al Shabrakata. Bear with me one moment. As I put this on. All right. Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and the glory to the Most High, Yahawah, Bahashim, YAHAWASHI, Bahashim Rakak Double honors to Salakia. Let me know if it's on. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. GMS who taught me this truth. Honors to the brethren and the Akim out there that's pushing out this truth with all sincerity and in faith. And to Wadi Yahawah Bashim YAHAWASHI for allowing me once again to come out here onto the highways and to the byways. Alright, into the chief place of concourse that's commanded. Alright, to teach and to preach in the name of Yahawah Bashim YAHAWASHI through the Holy Spirit, Rakah Kodash, which is, that's what drives us. That's what really operates amongst us brothers to come out here and to teach, you know, and to do the good, to do the, what's it called, rehearse the righteous acts, because this here is a righteous act to do, you know, to present your body as a living sacrifice, and to present it and to have it to be holy and acceptable in the Heavenly Father's sight, you know. And that's all that we can do is the sacrifice, you know, because, you know, the one who we strive to be like is our Lord YAHAWASHI, you know. And what did he do ultimately? He sacrificed himself, you know. You got Ishakar here, but he sacrificed himself, you know, being put on the cross, being, you know, being humiliated, so on and so forth, you know. And we come out here and we don't suffer that same level as the Lord did, yet we still come out here, we're a spectacle unto people, we're still, you know, hey, I won't be surprised in the matter of 15-20 minutes, you know, somebody drive by and talk shit and come up and do whatever, man, you know. But one scripture that comes to mind, since I mentioned sacrifice, let me grab this. This is the book of Salakia. Waiting for this to upload. And just you brothers, let me know if the live is good. I don't know. I don't know if it's running right or you can hear me, but hey, and shalom to the brother Shadow That Wings, Yabashim al Shai, Barakatah to you. But this is the book of grab it right here. The Apostle Paul had mentioned the life that he lives, right? This is Galatians chapter 2 and verse, I believe it's 20. Yep, Galatians chapter 2 verse, yeah, we'll start at 20. And it says, I am crucified in Hamashiach, which is the anointed YAHAWASHI, and the water brother for verifying. It says, I am crucified with Hamashiach, nevertheless I live. And it says, yet not I, but Hamashiach liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, which we can all attest to that. Without the life that we're living right now, we're living in this flesh, we're living in this body. Okay. All right, we're subject to ailments. You know, you get sick out here, you get hurt out here. You know, that's what this flesh has to offer to you. Okay. But it says, the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of Man, which is YAHAWASHI, who loved me and gave himself for me. And that's what the Lord did. he loves Israel, which the people on the sign, who is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and those that are scattered abroad, all right, because you have all our people that come from all kinds of walks of life, and they don't necessarily have to be what you call looking like a so-called Mexican, or looking like a so-called Negro, or looking like a Haitian. You know, you got our people scattered amongst all nations, you know. But he loved Israel, and he gave himself for Israel, all right, the nation of Israel, all right, in particular. Okay, he didn't come to die for the whole world, or you know, come to save all nations and do all these things that are that the Christians, I should say, or you everyday people who say you know God, you believe in God, all right, you believe in Christ. Okay, Most High didn't come to save everybody, and this truth that we push isn't for everybody either. You know, very few people gonna come around. Well, that's the thing, is very few people gonna be coming around. You know, not a lot of people gonna be jiving with the words and the things that we have to say, and it's not really even our words. It's the words of the Most High. It's the words of YAHAWAH Bahashim YAHAWASHI. Okay. But one of the things I wanted to touch upon that I had seen today, all right, and I'm sure not only just myself, but brothers that are in tune, you know, is the things that are happening, you know, around the world. And let me just grab this this article. This is from NBC. Yeah, NBC News, because we all know about the U.S. and Israel major attack on Iran. You know, which is, when we see headlines like that, and we see things in that title frame of basically war, because when you hear of a nation attacking another nation, that's not no good thing. You know, anything attacking somebody is you're implying that, you know, you're gonna afflict some kind of level of harm. And in this case, when it's nations, those attacks, those what they call minor attacks or little attacks or even major attacks, can all lead to war, can all lead to what they call World War III, which a lot of people, they don't believe that that's going to happen, or at least not now, not in their lifetime. But when you read in headlines like this, you better believe that it's not too far-fetched, and that it is going to happen, and that these are the little signs of it leading to that point, you know. And it says by ABC News, what to know. A major joint attack. So it's a joint attack. It's 2v1. Okay, Israel, all right, and the United States, Babylon the Great, going and inflicting pain upon Iran. Okay, it says the United States launched major combat operations in Iran, joined by Israel. Your boy Donald J. Trump, President Donald Trump, announced in a video message today, which was, you know, all around the internet. As soon as you open Twitter or Instagram, even TikTok, you know, those headlines are out. Okay, and it says Israel targeted Iranian political and military leaders, which, if I'm not mistaken, you brothers correct me if I'm wrong. Before I came out here, I was, you know, just going through the motion, and I can't. I'm not even gonna try, but I can't pronounce the Iran supreme leader's name. But if I'm not mistaken, he got knocked out. You know, he got knocked out the frame. All right, he had been put to death during these attacks, during these strikes. You know, and this just goes to show that Donald Trump is that great tyrant. All right, that he's not really afraid to show. You know, he's very blunt about, you know, he's blunt about being a racist. He don't like you blacks, he don't like you Latinos. I definitely don't like none of the tribes when you go down the list. All right, you know, he's pro-Edomite, so to speak, and that's the thing. I'd have to believe that, you know, when Elder Pastor Tahar, he speaks on about how, you know, him being Nero, you know, it's not too far-fetched. And Salakia. I had a call coming in. I don't know if you brothers hear that or not. But I forgot what I was going to say. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Let these guys pass. What's up? No. Free phones. No free phones. Not around here. But he is that great tyrant, you know. He is that that dude to get it started, so to speak. Because those of you brothers that, you know, I be wondering sometimes about, you know, these men that they speak of in the past, you know, especially some of the what they call Roman emperors. You know, a lot of them were sick motherfuckers, you know. But in particular, when you go into the history of Nero, he was one of the men that that started what they call the Great Fire of Rome, okay? And he blamed it on the Christians, all right, who in that time would have had to been at a process of elimination the Israelites that were in Rome at that time, you know. And guess what? We in Rome all over again in this place in America. All right, we in modern Rome. All right, we're in Nineveh. We're in Idumea. All right, land of Edom. Because who dwells here? Who rules here? All right, it's Esau. All right, it's who you call so-called white people today. Okay, and they're ruling now, and who do they have under them? You tribes, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. And me being down here in the California, you see all that, man. You know, you see Edomites, and then you see the ones that are around here. You know, Issachar. You got a lot of Haitians here. You know, they be looking like they Negroes, but they speak straight fluent Spanish. All right, and they're gonna be coming after you tribes, man. They're gonna be coming after you Israelites, and they already have been. You know, and that's going to lead to ultimately, you know, the time of Jacob's trouble. But let me read on, and it says, Israel targeted Iranian political and military leaders. Two United States officials told NBC News, while the United States aimed to take out Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear program. So when you're talking about ballistic missile and nuclear programs, you're basically trying to, you know, seize another nation's self-defense, you know, because those missiles and those nuclear programs are to defend their nation, their country, you know, their people themselves. And then you got a man like Donald Trump going in there and trying to run the show, you know, which that's the thing, man, is a man of his stature, a man of pride, because I would like to say, like, when you talk about a proud so-called white person, he's the top dude, you know, he's that guy. You know, there's a video I seen about what's it called, about how all the things that nobody does better than Trump, and it's just a bunch of just shit that he's the worst at, you know. But one thing I'll say is, what he is good at is being that tyrant, okay, being that guy to stir up some shit, you know. He's that what they call in that movie, the Planet of the Apes, the older, the older film about how beware of the beast man, for he's the devil's pawn, and among God's primates, he kills for sport, he's for lust and for greed, and that's all that Esau is about, is destroying and devouring. But see, that destroyer and devourer, he's going to be destroyed and devoured at once, because the Most High, he's going to have it to where Esau is going to be able to do his thing to a certain point, and then that's when the Most High is going, it's like in a fight, like a boxer, he'll have his, he'll have his great moments in the fight. He's sticking to the jab, he's moving, he's staying out of the, the line of fire, and then eventually that other fighter who's not really doing much, the momentum shifts, and then you see that other fighter turning it up, and then that's when you have a fight, and that's what the Most High wants. At the end of the day, he's gonna have a fight. You go to the book of what they call the book of Second Esdras, it talks about how yet they were so afraid, yet thirst fought. And these nations, they're gonna fight each other. All right, that's gonna start. And then eventually, what's gonna happen is the Most High, who the world calls God, all right, and his son YAHAWASHI, all right, who the world calls Jesus Christ, they're gonna make their appearance. Really, YAHAWASHI is gonna make his entry, so to speak, along with the angels, and they've been, coming in and out, bringing all that stuff, bringing up, coming out, out of the heavens, showing up to, especially like in the military, especially here in San Diego, the Air Force. You hear a lot of people talk about how, in the ocean, the Navy, they be seeing stuff, and stuff that they can't even, what's it called? They can't describe, they can't, utter words for. They just say this can't be us. This is something that's greater, more powerful, more everything, and those are the angels. And it says, and also there's a death toll. It says the Iranian Red Sursis said that there are more than 200 people have been killed and roughly 700 others have been injured following the attacks. So these are, when you read about this, when you read these kind of stuff, this is all war crimes. These are, you can't just go and do this without the other side retaliating or having something to say about it. So all this is going to be, all this is just going to stir up more strife. And let me grab this because, because they had mentioned in the video that Donald Trump, he got his hat on. I want to say it said the United States, but I wouldn't be surprised if it said Trump. But I believe it said the USA on it. And then you read the caption, it says, to lay down your weapons, or they'll be like, basically you gonna pay, and those aren't soft words, that's basically you telling somebody, look bro, if you don't submit to me, I'm gonna beat your ass, I'm gonna really hurt you, But this is Proverbs 15:1. It says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Which grievous is a word of, another word of saying like bad, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, F you and, I'm a, it could be very calm, polite words like, I forget how he says it, but like in RoboCop, he says surrender now, or there will be pain to pay, or some shit like that, and he didn't really say nothing like whoa, holy shit, but he's letting you know, bro, like you better stop it, or look man, I'm gonna have to do what I'm gonna do what I gotta do, you know. You know, and these are all things that we read about that are and must shortly come to pass, you know. War, rumors of wars, you know, because that's an act of war. You know, you blowing people up and shit, man. You do that here in America, though, you know, they ain't gonna let that, you know, those are acts of terrorism, you know. But when Esau does it, man, it's just, hey, man, he's that dude. He could do that shit. But see, the Most High is gonna have it to where he's gonna get the pride in his heart is gonna deceive him, and that high seat that he's sitting on, he's gonna get brought down to the lowest state, man. And it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. And then and when it happens, man, it's gonna be a beautiful sight to see that here it is, Esau and his pride. That's what's gonna ultimately destroy him. That's what's gonna get him on up out of here. Because as the scriptures say, that what? Pride goes before what? Pride goes before destruction. And that's the destiny of Esau and his kingdom, is that it's going to get destroyed. It's going to get obliterated. You know, it's going to get annihilated. All right, through the spirit and the power of YAHAWASHI. And guess what? Ain't nothing that nobody can do about it. The only thing that we do about it is we just we further tell you more. All right, we just keep on throwing in your face that, look, this is all the will of the Most High. And eventually, you know, that sword that you live by, you're going to die by it. This is Ecclesiastes 3:1, and it says, yeah, I didn't bring it. It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And that's literal for everything. You know, you got a time for the summer. You know, you got a time for the spring, the fall. Okay, you got time for basketball season, football season, the Olympics. You know, etc., etc. And it says a time to be born and a time to die. And that's the time that we're gonna be coming into, is that a lot of people that are being born today, guess what? They just gonna die here. You know, they're gonna die here ultimately at the end of the day. And it says a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Well, brother,
hey,
what are you teaching?
Huh?
What are you teaching?
Just the Bible, man.
Bible, brother?
Yeah.
How long you been teaching for?
For some time.
Really?
How
long? Maybe like a few years?
A few years or so, yeah.
So you're from National City or?
Not originally. I'm from Arizona.
Oh, from Arizona?
Yeah, I was in Arizona. I'm born, raised here in San Diego, but I'm originally from Arizona.
Yeah. Okay, cool, bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. You're a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah. You know about this?
Oh, yeah, I know about him, bro.
Yeah. What's your take on it? Like, you believe, like, you know, you're Israelite, right?
Oh, Israelite, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, bro.
So-called Mexican, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so-called. I mean, we could say we're from a certain tribe. We could say we're Issachar, right?
Issachar, yeah.
But really, ultimately, I believe that the Lord's going to show us that in the kingdom.
Of course,
you know,
yeah,
'cause
100%.
you could say you're Issachar, but you might be Judah.
Yeah.
You know, I got a brother that he's also Issachar, but other brothers believe that he's a Benjamite.
Yeah, hey, that's the spirit, because I met with other brothers, and I always, you know, the world that we live in, I'd be like, I can't go around saying I'm this and that. A lot of people think I'm just Mexican, and that's what I identify as, you know.
Yeah, you gotta be rolling with these people,
but
bro.
then so I'll be like, I'm Mexican, what? You know, what do you want?
Yeah.
But a lot of brothers that I met, they said, hey, you ain't Mexican, brother, you something else.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you ain't Mexican.
You got curly hair, bro.
Yeah. I got the curly hair and all. But
that's good, brother. What are you bringing out right now? What's going on?
Basically, what's going on in
Iran.
Iran.
The supreme leader that just got killed right now.
Yeah, I was just talking about
wiped
that.
Out.
Yeah. He just got taken out in those strikes. Just talking about how I was reading here.
Yeah. I mean, because we understand that Iran, they're weak going against Babylon, so they need that help from Russia, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's all it's going to lead to, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, it's all these other nations. They're not going to be with America, because the main target is this place.
Yeah.
You know, this is like the headquarters of the world. You know.
There's an end stage here, bro.
Yeah, and this is gonna be where the main destruction is gonna take place. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely,
You
bro.
know, like the world's gonna get hit.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna compare what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You know, it's gonna get real nasty out here. You know.
Get hectic out here, bro.
And that's kind of what I'm going into is
okay.
You know, the times that we're in. You know.
Yeah. Sorry, brother. Are you affiliated with like any camp? Because you know we have different camps.
Yeah,
like
I know. You guys got there's a lot of camps.
Okay.
You know, but who I'm not under. I've met with some of the brothers in Arizona, GMS in particular.
Cool. Yeah, so it'll be like an affiliate camp.
Yeah, affiliate.
Yeah, okay,
you know, because
cool.
that's what I learned from the other camps. Like, I never showed up or rolled with IUIC or ISPK or any of the other
they all came under GMS, bro.
But they're all
yeah, and even their leaders, they're going off.
Oh, 100%.
You got fucking Sakari leaders, the Lord getting rid of them too.
Oh, Sakari, yeah, those dudes.
Both of them, bro, because they came out of San Diego too.
Oh yeah, yeah. My dad, when I was young, like when I was like 12 years old, is when I started learning about this.
Yeah.
But my dad had rolled up on Sakari, and then that's kind of like how he was introduced to the truth. And then Alazar, you know who Alazar is, right?
He dumb,
yeah,
but he don't repent.
He's out of that's the thing, man. He just got to repent. But I think he's so. He's in his proud state right now. You know? He thinks that he's the top dude. I can't be touched. You know, and that's scary, man.
He acting like the white man, like I shall never be moved.
Yeah,
you know, it's like he's that same pride,
and he's
bro.
a real. You know, we're all of the world sometimes.
Yeah, we are, bro.
But he's really of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't mix the
he's
world
fully invested in that. You know, like I would say, like what he does in the world, that's his full time, and then Hebrew Israelite, I just do that part time. Here and there, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever I got a curse Edomite out, get on the nigga woman, you know, and say all this
only
stuff.
On the weekends.
Only on the weekends.
From Monday to Friday.
But I'm a complete crazy Negro out in the street,
behind
you know?
the cameras.
Yeah, man. And it showed. It showed.
Yeah, well, he even acknowledged it in one of his videos. He's like, "Oh, Sakari with them niggas."
Yeah, man. Yeah, and it's it's sad to see because the brother. I've never met him personally, but I've heard his brothers.
Yeah, I actually came under him, bro.
He's diligent.
I came under Sakari when they came 2000, and I think it was 2016, around there, 2017. I met up with the brothers, and at that time, that's when they really started going on with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then right after the whole pandemic, they just started.
That's when a lot of, that's when I started coming out.
Okay, and that was in AZ.
I started coming out. I went out when the pandemic was occurring, so that's when because when you come out here, it takes a lot of faith.
Yeah, bro, you gotta be fucking bold, bro.
You gotta, and especially
by yourself.
By yourself, man. Like
especially that's.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but I don't, whatever happens. But that's why you always.
The Lord with you, bro.
The Most High always prays.
Yeah, he with
you,
bro.
Israel, and they look crazy, but they don't got energy to come out because they don't even know what this is.
No, they
don't. And when you try to tell them, they can't. They start to malfunction.
I actually just came with my other brother is an Issachar. We brought it out earlier, bro.
Oh, okay.
We brought out the word, and then I was just heading home right now to go meet up with the Eve, just chill.
Yeah, right.
So I passed by, bro, and then I saw the purple. I was like, wait, is that IUIC?
No.
I've never seen an IUIC by themselves.
So you'll never. It may be inside.
Yeah, but I've never seen an IUIC brother by themselves. I always see them like in a group with the mic and shit.
With the army.
With the whole army, with everybody with the boots. I was like, the brother don't have boots. That brother look humble, bro.
Yeah, I'm just cool. Yeah, I've got some regular Vans on.
Yeah, brother have his backpack down. So I did a U-turn. I'm like, I'm gonna go see what's up with the brother, man.
Oh, you saw me driving in?
No, I was heading to my destination. And I saw you just right now, bro, literally like 5 minutes ago.
Right.
I parked over here. And I just want to say shalom to the brother, man.
Hey, shalom. Yeah. Hey, brother, well, if you come out, exchange info. I can give you my YouTube.
Yeah, bro, let's do it, bro. Yeah. I'm saying, bro, I came out. I used to be with GMS Los Angeles, bro.
Yeah.
So what happened was there was a decree from Apostle Tahar. That was like 2018, bro. And that's when I was barely coming in with. I actually met up with all the brothers from GMSLA, bro. With brother Dawadal, with all the Northern Kingdom. I broke bread with all the brothers, bro. So I grew up with them in the spirit. And there was a time where Tahar said, "Hey, look, if you're not seasoned, because I was a young brother, so I had to kind of like stay away from GMS brothers and kind of like start from the beginning."
Yeah.
Start doing the homework, study the milk. But I'm in contact with them, bro, here and there. So I'm not saying I'm affiliated, but I was once part of Great Millstone before.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but that was back in 2018.
Yeah.
But I didn't get kicked out, bro. Nothing happened. I just did it out of my own.
Regardless of what you are, as long as you coming out here and you're making your call in election sure, I believe that's all that matters.
Are you live, brother, right now?
Yeah, I'm actually live right now.
Bro, so I didn't mean. Let me show you real quick. If you could.
Yeah, we live. Yeah, I wasn't expecting much, man. I was thinking like, all right, let me come out.
So is this your first time teaching out here, bro?
In this area, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
come. I was thinking about going downtown, but then downtown's a little crazy too sometimes, you know.
Yeah, you know.
And
Sakari, they already handle that, bro.
Yeah,
so it's true, bro. So the Lord's guiding you, because National City does need.
And honestly, bro, I believe it's the spirit that I came at this exact location right here because you showed up. You know what I mean?
Hey, I was about to bring. I was thinking. I was like, man, should I bring a brother of precept? When Saul came with the men of the Lord and he turned into another man.
Oh yeah.
So in my mind, I was thinking, I'm just gonna take my backpack up. I'm like, nah, it's not wise. I don't want to interrupt the brother because you're doing your thing, bro. So I was
right.
So I gotta stay in my lane too. What is your channel?
RWO.
R. Yeah, I'm the brother alone, man. The brother in the spirit. So, hey, the scriptures speak about how the Lord gonna give you brothers, bro, to you know, build up and stuff. Yeah, I actually grew up here too in National City, bro. And when I first came out, my first 2 years, I brought it out here in 43rd Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so that's me. I'm live. Light of YAHAWAH AZ.
Oh, come on, live.
So
I got you out.
Yeah, and I just put on Highland Avenue, cheap place of concourse.
Cheap place of concourse. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Hey, we got brothers in Yuma, bro.
Oh yeah.
We got the brother Zayan and brother Yokal, and you probably know Wake Up the Dead 144.
Yeah.
That's the brother. That's Zayan.
Yokal's the tall brother, right?
No, Yokal would be. I can send you like information about the brother, but no, he's short. He's a Zebulonite brother with the beard. But he's not GMS. He's in Arizona, but they're affiliated of Great Millstone, bro.
Yeah. So I was with the brother out there. I met the brother Shakar,
Kurataza,
yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, brother.
The brothers, some of the head brothers in at the GMS camp.
Yeah,
because they teach right downtown too. You know, so when I was out there, I was rolling with them. Not rolling with them, but going out. I go out, and then on the weekends I'll go and see them.
Okay.
You know, show up to the camp, say what's up, shalom.
Yeah,
you know
bro,
what I mean?
That's a beautiful thing,
kind of just, you know, just showing, tune in with the brothers, seeing how everybody's doing, and you know, because it's always good to just, you know, show brothers that you still around. You know?
That's the brotherly love, bro. That's why I came through. I was like, because the spirit on the left side was like, just go home, don't say nothing to the brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, what about the brother? He might be by himself.
Yeah, I gotta get a new garment because I don't.
It's
people
good,
be thinking that I'd be ice.
Yeah. We have a brother. We had a brother that also had purple.
Yeah.
But the only difference is that he was with us, so it was like a purple, burgundy.
Yeah.
So a brother that has the spirit. Okay, how's it going? Hey,
pretty good, brother. How you doing?
Mind if I tell you something real quick?
Go ahead, bro. What's going on?
The cement could drain a car battery. It could drain people too. And that wrought iron spot right there is safer to stand on than the cement if you was there for a long time.
Oh, damn. Okay.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Just think about if you're at the bar and everybody's getting crunk.
Right.
And the bar fight starts, but you're the dude that been standing on top of that iron right there.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean? You have more energy.
All right, brother.
That's the spirit talking, bro. And that's facts, because we are in concrete jungle, bro.
Yeah. This
so,
is the rumble.
I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's good to know.
But I forgot what I was saying.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, we're going into bro. That was we're bringing it out here. Yeah, so the fucking what's his name? Ayatollah.
Mm-hmm.
He just got rocked allegedly. You know, that's
rock
what
like on.
Rock like he got back to the spirit world, bro.
Really?
You know, yeah, by Esau right now, the king of Iran.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he got murdered, and then bro. Russia's gonna have to aid, and then NATO and the EU are gonna be going against that horror, bro.
Yeah, so and then that's just like people, the world hear that and they're just like, well, but you know, I don't want it to happen, you know, but it's just like, no, I want it to happen, you know, we
bro.
pray that it happens.
Yeah.
Tonight, tomorrow, soon, you know. because
the sooner the better.
when we see these things, I always say that it just edges us closer and closer to our salvation,
Yeah, bro.
to the end. Because as soon as the end comes, that's when the Most High sends His Son with the angels,
Yeah, bro.
and then that's the cherry on the sundae, man.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
That's it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but ultimately, I mean, that's what we want too. But hey, the mark of the beast, bro. That's another.
that too, and then once that hits,
Everything's
it's
going
right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's at the door at that point, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's all just exciting, you know, to see and to, you know, to be alive too, you know, to see these things and not to just be alive, but to know rather than being lost like the people in this world.
Yeah,
like, because
bro.
what he's saying, that's cool, but he don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right, brother.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So
I mean, that's
and we
kinda
could have easily been like that dude, you know,
Yeah.
or like the rest of our people, but for some reason the Lord had it to where we came across brothers that were out here
That's facts,
on
bro,
the web.
Because this brother could have been like, hey, what are y'all teaching? Right?
Yeah,
Because of the
he didn't
potential
care
leg.
about
But he's
anything
like,
that
hey,
we were
you're in the
teaching.
concrete. You're like,
You know,
okay,
you have more
that's kind of like
energy.
wisdom in the world. That's cool.
But you didn't
ultimately,
even ask what we was.
shit,
you know,
we're
talking
still
about.
catching hell, bro. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
concrete, but I still like, you don't see fucking. Man, bro, this is vain, bro. I ain't
You know,
gonna talk about
who
this shit.
cares? You know, I don't care. Do you care about what I'm saying or not?
Yeah, exactly.
You
bro.
know, because when Israel comes around like that, they want to spit some game.
Wisdom, huh? You're
you know,
right.
and it's just like, that's cool, bro. But like, it's all like the scriptures say, when you come into the house of the Lord, you know, you gotta keep your mouth. You know,
that's true.
because you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a
That's
reason,
true, yeah.
to hear more and to talk less.
That's true, man. That's true,
You know, so.
Yeah, bro. Hey, but I'm gonna let you do your thing, Malak. Hey, I'll hit you up, bro.
If you hit me up, yeah.
One of our members, bro, he might be going out of state and stuff. So we can even chop it down, bro. And that's a spirit too.
Yeah.
I was just talking to him.
I wish I had a pen. I'd write my number down, but
Yeah. No, I got my phone,
got
bro.
it? Yeah.
I got my phone, brother.
yeah, cause I'm right here. I live right by, you know where Kimball Park is.
So you just moved here or just visiting?
I'm here for right now for a while.
Malak,
Yeah.
handle. Yeah, bro, I've been out here teaching too, already since 2017, 2018. So it's already, I've been seasoned for 7 years, bro. So as a spirit, just putting me on game. Yeah, we can even bring it out next week. We usually come out around this time, bro, between like 12 and 2 o'clock, bro.
Okay.
So we could invite you, break some bread out there by downtown Chula Vista.
Oh, Chula Vista? Yeah, you could
Vista.
just take the train or the bus there, huh? I'm still learning the.
Oh, you don't have
routes and
chariot,
stuff.
or you take bus?
Yeah,
Chariot?
I take bus. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Yeah, I can always pick you up too, bro. Like, just hit me up.
Yeah,
pick
because
you up.
I live by the Kimball Park right over here, so.
Oh, okay, 2 bucks away. All right,
Yeah.
come. Yeah, brother, gotta do a diligent service, bro. You need it. I remember when I didn't have a chariot for 2 or 3 years, and then I had Odd coming through with me, you know, giving me a ride here and there. I needed a ride on my jaw here and there, to the point where I prayed to him, hey Lord, I need a chariot now, and He blessed me, bro. He blessed me with a chariot, man.
Yeah, so 928. Yeah.
I used to have this. Okay, kind of. A YAHAWAH.
A warrior.
A warrior.
Yeah.
A warrior. Okay.
Which is the light. Yeah, the light.
Come on.
Shalom, brother.
Which means to finish.
To finish. All right.
Finish.
We gonna have to. Yeah, Yahweh Shem El Shabbat. I'll just shoot me a text.
Yeah.
And I'll hit it. I'll probably get it on here, and then I'll save your contact from there, and then we'll go from there, brother. All right, Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shem El Shabbat. Hey, bro. Hey, but that's the spirit, brother. Hey, you know, I wasn't really expecting, you know, any brothers to come out, or you know, somebody to come in. Hey, I said the complete opposite is you know, somebody coming in and talking smack. Hey, well, some brother came in and inquired, like, hey, Shalom, brother, like, and I was thinking, like, you know, what he was gonna bring up to me. And then some told me, I was like, this brother knows about something. Brothers just didn't. And the way he came up in I don't think you saw him. I didn't put him on camera. But I you know, he had the backpack on. I was just like, man, this brother looked like he's about to, like, he showed up for camp, you know. But hey, bro, that's the spirit, man. You know that there's some Akim out here. Hey, now I know. You know, it's the spirit that, you know, the brother I came out at this time on this day, just to run into that brother, you know. So hey, all praise to the Most High, Yahawah Shai, and you know, we'll break bread and we'll just, you know, Just teach the word and just, hey, put in the work, you know, because that's what it's about, is just, you know, putting in this work and giving diligence to make thy calling and thy election sure, man. You know, so hey, all praise to the Most High, YAHAWASHI. You know, and you know, now the spirit changed. You know, I was going into war and all that, but I wanted to grab a scripture while the brother was out here. And well, let me go back to that. This is this book of Romans, chapter 12 and 1, and it says, "And I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service." And that's the thing, is, you know, come out here and present your body as that living sacrifice. You know, because, and that's what you got to do. Just as the Lord presented his body as the ultimate sacrifice, we got to come out here and put our bodies as this living sacrifice. You know, come out to the highways and hedges. You know, hey, you know, you got that Jake over there talking about, you know, standing on the concrete, you get more energy, this, and that. You know, cool wisdom, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But at the end of the day, coming out here and bearing this concrete, and, you know, bearing this concrete, having to, you know, bear the concrete, bear the elements, you know, bear the elements, you know, so on and so forth. You know, you gotta, that's what it's about. You know, your back hurt, your knee hurt, you know, your everything hurt. Okay? You know, and ultimately, this is how you you know, you build up your spirit, you know, by coming out here. You know, because I was telling the brother, like, for you to come out here by yourself, you know, that takes a lot. It takes a lot of courage, you know. And the only time anything is what's it called? You know, because it takes courage and brave to be brave out here, and faith to come out here alone. Because if it's not scary, then it can't be brave. It's only brave because it's scary, knowing that, you know, you got crazy ass Israelites out here. Anything can happen. Car crash could happen right here. You know, nobody knows. But we come out here in faith and in boldness, you know, to do his will, to do this will, to do this work. All right. And this is how we, you know, this is how we endeavor in this truth. This is Romans 12 and 11, and it says, "Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord." And for one to be fervent in spirit, is you have to have a certain kind of like a fever for this, you know. All right, like best example you could give on how you should be is like when you with a woman, or you've been talking to a lady, or you haven't even seen her yet, you know, outside of whether you met her at work or whatever, but you got this feeling inside you, like, man, you know, I just want to compliment her, maybe bring her some flowers, do this and that. You know, you go above and beyond. You got that fire in you for her, you know, and you almost do anything to try to, you know, seal the deal with her. Well, that's how you got to be in this faith. You know, that's how you got to be in the truth. It's, you know, you have to have a certain like my man Rick James. You know, you got to have that fire and desire, you know. This is the book of Proverbs 11 and 4, and it says, riches profit not in the day of wrath. So riches and having the things of this world, you know, that's not going to profit you in when the wrath of the Almighty comes. All right, when the wrath of YAHAWASHI comes. Okay. You know, your riches ain't gonna profit you on those days, in that day. But the thing that is gonna profit you is this. But righteousness delivereth from death. So righteousness is what's gonna deliver you from the death, the sword, the famine, the destruction. All these things are gonna come. You being in tune and you doing the best of your ability to make it out here, to make your lessons, to do what you gotta do. That's what's gonna deliver you. Because your works follow you, man. Your works do follow you. But as soon as you say, and I think for men, like we were just talking about that dude Sakari, right? Talking about that guy Sakari and how, you know, I had mentioned that, hey, all of us brothers are of the world at some point in some things, whether you're into boxing or whether you and going and hollering at women, things that, you know, it's almost impossible to not be slightly indulged. But you have certain men like the man Sakari that we mentioned, is that he's fully indulged. You know, all he is about is, you know, the clout chasing and this and that. When you should be clout chasing the Most High, you should be clout chasing after YAHAWASHI, man. You know, and a lot of, you know, some dudes are about it. I'll say this: some men are about the will and the duty of YAHAWASHI, and then you have some who are not. Or you have some, or I should say, you have many that are not. You have many that are faking the funk. You know, I only do this because, you know, I'm already in it for a little bit, you know, and I just don't want no brothers to really get on me. You know, those dudes ain't gonna last, and it's gonna show. But the brother that keeps on pushing, keeps on doing it, regardless of what anything or anyone says, and they still showing their faith by their works, that's all that matters, man. Because the righteousness is what's going to deliver you from death. Okay? And what's righteous? Coming out here on the highways and byways, giving diligence to make your calling and election sure, and being a part of the fight, being part of the good fight of faith. And we have to we have to strive in this, you know. You know, as the scriptures say, it says, it's Ecclesiasticus 4 and verse 28. It says, strive for the truth unto the death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So we got to strive for this truth unto the death. And hey, man, to the death is literal, you know, to the end, to whatever end it is, whatever that means, you know. And it says, and the Lord shall fight for you, or fight for thee. And hey, if the Lord's fighting for you, bro, hey, man, that's the best person that you got on your side, man. You could have, if you could be in a fight, and if the Lord is your coach, and then the other nigga got Tyson, Vander Holyfield, whoever, the great Customato, the greatest coaches of coaches, it's not gonna matter, because at the end of the day, the Lord is who's gonna be victorious. The outcome is still gonna be the same. Hey, the Lord is unstoppable and undeniable. Okay, he's that dude. He is, all right. He's him. This is the book of Saint 1 John or 3 John 1 and 1, and it says, the elder unto the well-beloved Ganis, whom I love in the truth, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified to the truth that is in thee, even as thou knowest in the truth. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. And that's the thing, is the Most High, that's all he wants for us, is to walk in truth, to walk in faith, walk in his steps, you know. Now, mind you that walking in those steps, walking in that truth, that's that's no easy task. Because look, bro, if it was easy, I could bet money that if it was so easy to come out here to bring out these precepts, all right, let alone set it up on the live, you know, there's not too much work to it, but there's work that comes into coming out here and being out here. And if it was so damn easy, all you Israelites would have been out here. They all be out here, man. But guess what? You're not out here. Not a lot. Like Elder Tar, he said that, man, there should be a gazillion camps out, but they ain't. All right, because the harvest is plenteous, but what? The laborers is few. You only have a few people up out here, man. Everybody else is, hey, they either gonna come along, get along with the program, or they're not. You know, it's one or the other. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. It says, is that it? No. Oh, I'm in 1 Timothy. 2 Timothy, Salakia. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and 15, and it says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And that's the thing, rightly dividing the word of truth, correctly breaking down these precepts, correctly bringing out hey, because when you can't just say, you can't just read a precept and then just come up with shit, man, just make things up. Because now not only is you just making things up, which is, if you're making shit up, what is making something up? What would another word be called? Or that word be called? You making up a lie. That ain't what the truth is, you know? So you can't be making stuff up and saying this is that when it isn't. Or say, oh, well, that ain't right, and this is the, you know, saying all this, you know, because you got certain men that, you know, that believe that Christ is you know, it's not the Hamashiach, that, you know, the miracles he's done were witchcraft and this and that. You know, you got so many things that men say that are just, like brothers say, that are just bugged. They just bugged out, bro. They just bugged out, man. So you can't be just out here bugged out reading the scriptures, man. You got to rightly divide these words. All right, you got to be on point. All right, you can't just be winging this shit. Okay, you can't be winging it out here, and that's gonna show, man. It's gonna show if you winging it, or if you really, when you go home, you're really watching, you're really in tune to what's going on out here, man. This is Philippians chapter 2 and 12, and it says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. And that's what we do when we come out here. We're out here working out our own salvation with the fear and the trembling of the Most High, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 12 or I'll read 13. I'll start at 13. It says 13, it says, nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. You see, and that's what we look for. We look for new heavens, a new earth that dwells in righteousness, that dwells in, you know, in the righteous. Because the world that we live in right now, it doesn't dwell in righteousness. All right. If you want to know how this world operates and how it gets down, I'm not going to tell you. The scriptures will tell you. It's the book of Isaiah 5:20, and it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. And that's what this world does. This world calls things that are good in this world evil, and the things that are evil in this world good. And it says that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's the thing is, you know, you be reading about, or not hearing about, you know, these people who've been, you know, doing all these things, heinous things to children. And then you got Edomites that say, well, you're forgetting about all the good things that he's done and this and that. No, I don't care who you are or what you've done in this world. If you do things to kids and children, evil things to kids, you out of here, bro. You out of here. Whatever good things you've done, man, you out of that. That does completely dilutes all the good things that you've done, all right, off of that one heinous act, you know. And that's what this world promotes, all right. Everything completely opposite of what the Lord does. Every law that the Lord has, Esau in his kingdom that we're in, completely goes against it. It's the complete opposite, and that's why this fucking kingdom is going to be destroyed, man. And that's why we also got to continue, as hell as it is in here, being here, we got to continue to fight this fight. All right. And I'll go ahead and end it here through the Spirit. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 6 in verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and have professed a good profession before many witnesses. All right. And I don't know how many people passed by here today. Might have been a couple, might have been 100, I don't know. But I professed a good profession because this is my true profession, coming out here teaching and preaching amongst many witnesses. You know, you got some, you know, some fine lady across the way. She was staring, looking at her like, what is he doing over there? But she was a witness. People driving by. All right, hey, the brother who came up, he said he recently went out. All right, and he witnessed me coming out here, professing a good profession. You know, amongst witnesses, brothers that are on the live. All right, but this is what we got to continue to do, is to fight this fight, finish the race, and keep the faith until the end, no matter what. All right. But through the Spirit, Akim, I'm gonna go ahead and end here. I pray this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. As always, I want to give all praises, honor, and the glory to YAHAWAH, BaHaShem, YAHAWASHI, BaHaShem, Rakak, Badash. And it's on to the next one, Akim. Shalom.